everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Chopping with Zamsher. Today, we chop a lot. First, chop the banana. Chop. Next, slice the apple. Slice. Next, cut the cheese. Now, we kill the Ultra! Hello, collectors. It's Steven here with a review of the Ultra X Zamsher, or Zamusha, or Zamsher, or whichever other pronunciation you want to use, featuring other words which have Japanese origins this gaijin cannot pronounce, so he'll do the best job he can to try. This Ultra Act is rather old now, being released alongside the first Ultra Act Mebius back when the dinosaurs roamed the Earth, using the first body style. Being so old, some are looking to circle back now to see if he fits in with the new crowd of Mebius figures featuring all of the renewal bodies. So let's take a look to see whether or not this old figure is worth adding into your collection. Despite being old, Zamsha here looks rather nice. The detailing is top notch, and for the current price you would expect much less. Don't be alarmed though, you're getting some nice bang for your buck. First, the head helmet area, where the gold detailing is phenomenal. I know figures that cost more and are more popular than this guy that don't have as nice paint applications. Continuing down with the chest and the arms next, the blue armor with the gold decoration is great and well sculpted. The only downside is that the hair, fur, whatever it may be called, is a little intense in the red department. Maybe it could have been dialed back a notch, but it's alright. Again, looks amazing and it's this figure's greatest asset. Being an older Ultra Act figure, Zamsha's articulation is not necessarily the best, but it's not absolutely horrible by today's standards, at least not in my opinion. So, let's start things off. The hair, up here, it's attached on a ball joint, so you can move it around to get it out of the way of the armor and other joints, and you'll see later that you'll get a different piece, so if you don't like this one, that's fine. The head is attached to the neck on a ball joint, so let's move this one out of the way for now. And the neck is attached into the body on a ball joint, though it is slightly restricted, so that's about as far left and right as you're going to get it to look. Up, about that far. Down, about that far. The shoulder pads are on hinges where they're connected into the shoulder, and then they're on little swivels where they connect onto the hinge. So you can move them around, just like that. Same on both sides. The shoulders plug into the body on a ball joint. As you can see here, allows you to move the arms around. And then the shoulders themselves house hinges. But the thing is, they're independent of those giant shoulder pads. So you can move them on their own. But on mine, they're super tight. So, that's not good. I don't like that. Anyway, we do have bicep swivels. As you can see there, it's cut just below the shoulder. And the elbows feature double hinges. However, only one hinge on both elbows will move for me. And not fun. The wrists, swivel hinge combo as you would come to expect, and the wrists plug in on ball joints, so if you want to, you can spin those around on their own too. Moving on down, we have the ab crunch, which is a ball joint. You can twist and turn, just like so. But unfortunately, you're only going to be able to get forward and back rocking movement. Side to side isn't the best. But moving down, we have a ball jointed waist where you're going to be able to get most of your side-to-side movement. Now, all these little parts here, they're on ball joints, so you can move them around. I don't know what this would technically be called. I would call it a kilt. But then again, I'm Irish, so yeah. Then moving down, we have the hips. Typical pull-down hinge style you would come to expect from an Ultra Act, featured with the thighs plugging into the hips on a ball joint, and a little sculpt in there to allow you for a little bit of extra swiveling. Knees are on a double hinge, and that's a lot of movement there. So that's pretty cool. Ankle, swivel hinge combo you would come to expect. There's a swivel which plugs in to the leg, and then there's a hinge right down here for the ankle at the foot, and then the foot plugs into the ankle on another swivel. So you get the ankle rocker movement. Then finally, when we come to the toes, we actually get a ball joint instead of a true hinge. So you're going to be able to get a little bit of movement out of there, but not all the way up or all the way down. Just enough. Like all Ultra Act, Zamsha comes with some accessories, and we get quite a few different hand parts. So first off, for the hands, we get these splayed ones. We get these not so splayed ones, but still spread out. And we get a hand set here to hold a katana. Yes, I know what the katana's name is. I'm only going to try to pronounce it once in this review. Now, swapping out hands, you need to be extra careful.
And the reason I say you have to be extra careful is that the ball joints on the wrist are really small, and the connector peg that leads up from the actual wrist joint to the ball joint is small and thin. So when you go to attach a hand, watch what you're doing. So, socket in the hand, all you have to do, line up, apply pressure, pop it on, and just for the sake of argument, for the review, yeah, you hear that sound? Definitely gonna need to soften up the hand if you're a little afraid of breakage. And what Zamsha would be complete without the katana? I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, but Hoshikiri Maru. Yes. So here we go. Rather simple in design. We have the red handle, some gold paint, silver paint. Something to take note of, though, it's not hard plastic. Rather flimsy. So if you're looking for a decent display where the blade is going to be on the ground, take note, it will warp over time. Now, to get him to hold the Hoshiki Maru, again, I'm pronouncing that wrong, more than likely, all you do is you just slide it into the appropriate hand. Be mindful of paint rubs, because I've had that happen specifically to my Super Robot Chogokin Megazord, and yeah, the paint's rubbed off over time. So, there you go. Now Zamsha is ready for battle. Right? Well, the hair, or whatever the technical term for it would be on top of Zamsha's head, is a little boring. So we get this more action-y one to attach. And much like the hands, you're going to have to be careful with this one. Now, the ball joint is very, very small, so you're going to have to be careful. I advise you to heat this up if you're a little worried. And pop it off. You can see how small that is there. And if you got big hands like me, you're going to be forcing stuff. So, again, be careful. Line up the hole in the sculpt with the ball and push, and there you go. Now he's ready for action on your shelf. So accessories, they're pretty nice. Overall, we get the essentials. However, I do know that there are some energy attacks or effects in the show which would have gone great with Zamsha, and we could have used them. But such is life, I guess. We get a rather complete display with this figure. And here's a much needed size comparison. As you can see, this figure is rather small, so don't expect it to stand eye to eye with some of your other figures. So, buy now, skip, or try to find a better deal than $35 shipped. And yes, that is possible to find. Nice looking figure with alright accessories. Articulation really isn't the best given its age, but it's to be expected. Not a bad purchase, but don't expect to be over the moon with this one. Fans of the character and Mebius in general should like this one, so I suggest picking it up, unless you don't like him coming up to Mebius's chest. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like the video and subscribe. What do you think of the figure? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Interested in picking this one up? Check the description for some really cool links to take you where you need to go. Want to watch some more videos? I picked a few just for you, so click the annotations on your screen right now for more great content. Until next time, collectors!